A triumphant President Donald Trump told Congress that America is back after he reshaped U.S. foreign policy, ignited a trade war, and ousted tens of thousands of government workers in 6 tumultuous weeks since returning to power, drawing jeers from some Democrats who walked out in protest. Analysts noted the sharply partisan tone and said Trump missed opportunities to try to find common ground with Democratic opponents on some issues, as challenging legislative initiatives lie ahead requiring bipartisan report.
America's momentum is back. Our spirit is back. Our pride is back.
U.S. President Donald Trump's primetime speech, his first to Congress since taking office on January 20th, is said to be the longest presidential address to Congress in modern U.S. history.
Joe Biden especially let the price of eggs get out of control. The egg price is out of control, and we're working hard to get it back down. Secretary, do a good job on that. You inherited a total mess from the previous administration.
The speech shared some of the hallmarks of Trump's campaign rallies. Trump repeatedly assailed his Democratic predecessor, Joe Biden, attacked immigrant criminals as savages, and promised to ban what he called transgender ideology, all while peppering his remarks with exaggerated or false claims. But the night didn't go smoothly. Some Democratic lawmakers wore pink as a protest, and about 10 House Democrats walked out of the session after revealing black T-shirts with messages on them. Representative Melanie Stansbury of New Mexico held up a sign reading, "This is not normal," which was quickly snatched away. But what everyone is talking about?
Members are engaging in willful and continuing breach of decorum, and the chair is prepared to direct the Sergeant-at-Arms to restore order to the joint session.
Democratic Representative Al Green interrupted Trump within minutes of his speech and was later removed from the chamber after he refused to sit down. When reporters later asked him what he said,
"The president said he had a mandate, and I was making it clear to the president that he has no mandate to cut Medicaid. I have people who are very fearful. These are poor people, and they have only Medicaid in their lives when it comes to their health care."
It's become a more raucous occasion with far less decorum than historically was true of these occasions, which had a certain amount of ceremony and dignity to them. And at the beginning, it looked like it was going entirely off the rails.
Today, the White House press secretary saying,
"The behavior of Democrats last night was completely disgraceful and demonstrated how severely out of touch they are with the American public. It was the most shameful moment in the history of presidential addresses in that beautiful chamber."
During his address, Trump highlighted what he considered his biggest accomplishments and pushed Republicans to help turn his agenda into law. He spoke about the tariffs, firing thousands of federal workers, Ukraine, and reiterated his plans for the Panama Canal.
Just today, a large American company announced they are buying both ports around the Panama Canal and lots of other things having to do with the Panama Canal and a couple of other canals.
Panama's president posted on X today saying Trump is lying. Trump was referencing a deal announced Tuesday for a consortium led by BlackRock Inc. to buy a controlling stake in the company held by a Hong Kong-based group that operates ports at both ends of the Panama Canal. Panama maintains that it has full control over the canal and that the Hong Kong-based group's operation of the ports did not amount to Chinese control. Trump also faced pushback from Greenland's leader after last night's speech.
We strongly support your right to determine your own future, and if you choose, we welcome you into the United States of America. We need Greenland for national security and even international security, and we're working with everybody involved to try and get it. But we need it really for international world security, and I think we're going to get it. One way or the other, we're going to get it.
Hours later, Greenland's prime minister took to Facebook with a message for Trump, writing, "We are not for sale." But overall, some feel Trump missed opportunities to try to find common ground with Democratic opponents.
Most presidents, even when they're elected in very partisan times, like Bill Clinton, for example, they use these addresses to try to win some people over, to win over a few people in the other party, and to win over a few viewers, because that's the only way you get legislation passed. That's the only way you keep the government open when you're so closely divided. But that doesn't seem to be in Donald Trump's way of thinking about politics, which is what made this sound more like a campaign speech than a governing speech.